to the International Space Training Center. You're here today to train for the greatest adventure in the history of mankind, space travel. I know you're probably feeling a little nervous right now, but don't worry. Every astronaut has felt that way at one time or another, even the heroes who went to the moon. But there is one thing they had that you don't have yet: training. You're here today for flight training, the most thrilling experience that any astronaut candidate will ever have. Before you decide if it's right for you, let me introduce you to your spacecraft. The X-2 Space Shuttle. It's powered by solid hydrogen and can accelerate from 0 to 6,000 in 60 seconds. So when you hear the words "go for launch," you'll definitely want to hang on. Now, you've already been organized into teams, and soon each of you will be assigned a position: navigator, pilot, commander, or engineer. The success of your mission will depend on all of you working together as a team. I'll be your Capcom, and in a few minutes I'll give you your specific assignments. But first, our flight director has some safety instructions for you. Lieutenant?
Remember the team number you're standing on. When the doors in front of you open, you will be directed to a flight station with that number on it. When you get there, please stand on the circles. During your Green Team Less Intense training mission, you will be enclosed inside X-2 flight simulators that produce sensations of acceleration. Those who are made uncomfortable by enclosed dark spaces or simulators should bypass this experience.
As you can see, astronaut flight training isn't like anything you've ever experienced before. If you would like to opt out, just ask any member of the ISTC crew for directions. As for the rest of you, report for your pre-flight briefing. It's go time.
Center of your life. It is everything you hear, everything you see, everything you feel. It is everything you are. How would you know if someone stole your mind?
Ignition?
T-minus 10.
I've never been more excited about the possibility of discovery.
We are now at the point where we can bring together lots of different types of people.
You talk about grit and determination and resilience.
These are areas that humans aren't designed to go to.
We put together this amazing adventure and mission.
So when I turn it on...
Whoa!
Decisions we might make could influence other things.
And it's everything. I hope that we can do something to turn us around.
There are many questions raised by the mission that we still need to answer.
The story is never complete.
This blackout period, as I said before, we expect it to last about 7 minutes today, concluding at 5:51 p.m. Eastern Time or 2:51 p.m. Pacific Time.
Okay, cut.
Wow, Neil Armstrong. Hey, wait a minute. You're supposed to be on the moon. I just saw it on TV.
Oh, there's a tape delay and with all solar winds.
We right there have our first view of Dragon Freedom coming home to Earth.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
We're about 2 minutes away from deployment of those drogue parachutes. Now, the heat shield is continuing to work to slow the vehicle down. That entry period, the Dragon spacecraft went from orbital velocity about 17,500 miles per hour down to about 350 miles per hour. So that really gives you a sense of why that plasma builds up on the exterior of the capsule. Thanks to the heat shield and the work that it does, those drogue parachutes will slow it down from 350 to about 119 miles per hour. We can see
15 kilometers. Brace for drogue window.
We can see seat rotation happening inside the capsule. Great to get those first views of our crew members.
We begin with big breaking news. It's official. Kanye West turning Hollywood and the liberal music world upside down, pledging his full-throated support and love for President Trump. The rapper tweeting, "You don't have to agree with Trump, but the mob can't make me not love him. We are both dragon energy. He is my brother. I love everyone. I don't agree with everything anyone does. That's what makes us individuals, and we have the right to independent thought." He also tweeted a selfie and a MAGA hat. Well, as you can imagine, his support is appreciated by the president. Trump responding to the rapper on Twitter, writing, "Thank you, Kanye. Very cool."
I'm trying to.
Red hair, yellow skin. We call ourselves the inheritance people going down from dragon. The sons and daughters of dragon.
That's great.
And we are expecting drogue deployment at 2:53 p.m. Pacific, so we should see it any second now. And there you are getting a great view of Crew 9 inside Dragon Freedom as it returns back to Earth. We are awaiting the drogue deploys. This view coming from the WB-57 high-altitude plane. And there you see it on your screen, drogue deployment.
Drogue descent.
Green light, green light, green light. Load clear, load clear.
Mission, you are cleared for a wind pack pass.
10 copies, wind pack pass.
That's good enough. That's bank. Airspeed building.
There's 22. All right, coming off.
You can hear the crowd here.
Visual on 2 healthy drogues.
And we're going to stand by for splashdown located in the Gulf of America off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida.
And splashdown. Crew 9 back on Earth.
Back from space, pitching and rolling in the West Atlantic, but right side up and ready for recovery, Apollo 7 and its 3-man crew. Helicopters and frogmen from the aircraft carrier Essex prepared to hoist astronauts Walter Schirra, Don Isley and Walt Cunningham aboard after their incredibly successful 11-day mission. Their Earth orbit covered over 4.25 million miles and was a prelude to a round-the-moon and back voyage scheduled for December.
And SpaceX Freedom, splashdown. Good main release.
Copy, splashdown. We see main chutes cut. Nick, Alex, Butch, Sunny, on behalf of SpaceX, welcome home.
Sunny Williams, out of that SpaceX capsule, here on planet Earth.
Today, we press the door open wider still. From Apollo 17 to Artemis 1, we stand together, ready to chart a new course for history.
Growing up, I used to devour those old sci-fi books about, like, humans living on Mars.
Yeah.
It always seems so far-fetched, but Elon Musk and SpaceX are really trying to make that a reality.
Earth and Mars transit occurs every 26 months. We're currently in a transit window approximately. The next one would be November of next year, roughly end of next year. If all goes well, SpaceX will send Starship rockets to Mars with Optimus robots and Grok.
Sounds good.
Like, think robots building homes and AI making decisions in real time. It's kind of mind-blowing when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Right, like their first big target is 2026. They want to send unmanned starships to Mars, packed with, those Optimus robots.
Yeah.
But
Right.
there's a catch. They have to hit this very specific launch window in November. It's like a cosmic sweet spot or something.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's all about fuel efficiency and minimizing risk.
Okay.
See, that specific window in November they're aiming for, it takes advantage of how Earth and Mars are aligned. It's kind of like catching a moving train.
Oh, okay.
You got to be in the right place at the right time,
Gotcha.
And that alignment, basically, it means a shorter journey, less fuel needed, which is super important for a mission of this scale.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So then, if all goes according to plan, just 2 years later, in 2028, humans are scheduled to board the next batch of starships.
That's the idea?
And it's not just like a quick visit either. They're aiming to start building a permanent Martian city. Compared to like the Apollo missions, this just feels like warp speed.
It does. It's a totally different mindset,
Right.
It's not just about exploring anymore. It's about actually establishing a human presence on another planet, like long term.
Wow.
And that's where the robots come in.
Go ahead and have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Thank you. Now, help me out here, Doug. You were interested in a memory of,
Mars.
Yeah, Mars.
Did a problem?
To be perfectly honest with you, Doug, if outer space is your thing, I think you would be much happier with one of our Saturn cruises. Everybody raves about them.
No, I'm not interested in Saturn. I said Mars.
Okay. You're the boss. Mars it is. Now, let me see. The basic Mars package will run you 899 credits. Now, that's for 2 full weeks of memories, complete in every detail. If you want a longer trip, that'll cost you a little more because it's a deeper implant.
What's in the 2-week package?
Well, first of all, Doug, let me tell you, when you go recall, you get nothing but first-class memories. Private cabin on the shuttle, deluxe suite at the Hilton, plus all the major sites, Mount Pyramid, the Grand Canals, and of course, Venusville.
Yeah, but how real does it seem?
As real as any memory in your head.
The 1999 Hestra and Space Shuttle are here!
Soaring into the new millennium with lights and sound straight out of Mission Control. Retractable bay doors that activate the satellite launcher. And it's blast off to Hess stations where the shuttle is landed for $19.99, Energizer batteries included.
The countdown is near, the Hestra's here!
Happy holidays from Hess.
I know there's a strategy. I know you're coming back with reinforcements, something. I know there's a plan. You can tell me no other human will ever know.
There is no plan.
when Alan Dulles brought in all the Nazi scientists and so forth, they went to two places. They went to CIA and they went to the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, which in our world we call it not a space agency. Which in our world we call it not a space agency. And as Kathy O'Brien has said so clearly, that's where the bulk of the mind control has.
Booster rocket to separate. Splash down back in the Atlantic just as planned. We ain't going nowhere.
Nowadays, traveling with recall is safer than getting on a rocket. Check out those statistics. Besides, a real holiday is a pain in the butt. You got lost luggage, lousy weather, crooked taxi drivers. When you travel with recall, everything is perfect. So what do you say?
All right.
Smart move. All right, while you fill out this questionnaire, I'm going to familiarize you with some of our options.
No options.
Whatever you say. Could I ask you just one question, though? What is it that is exactly the same about every single vacation you have ever taken?
I give up.
You're the same. No matter where you go, there you are. It's always the same old you. Let me suggest that you take a vacation from yourself. I know, it sounds wild. It is the latest thing in travel. We call it the ego trip.
No, I'm not interested in that.
You're going to love this, Doug. We offer you a choice of alternate identities during your trip. Face it. Why go to Mars as a tourist when you can go as a playboy or a famous jock? Or
secret agent. How much is that?
Let me tantalize you. You are a top operative, back under deep cover on your most important mission. People are trying to kill you left and right. You meet this beautiful, exotic woman.
Go on.
I don't want to spoil it for you, Doug. But you rest assured, by the time the trip is over, you get the girl, kill the bad guys, and save the entire planet. Now you tell me, isn't that worth a measly 300 credits?
T-minus 18 seconds from liftoff. We're T-minus 15 seconds. Would you and your men please follow me?
Jerry, what the hell is this?
This is an emergency. Please follow me, now!
T-minus 10 seconds. 9, 8. We have ignition. 6, 5. We have outboard engines. 3. We have inboard engines. 1, 0. We have a launch commit. We have a liftoff at 35 minutes after the hour.
Every split second of this historic flight, every intimate detail, every heartbeat was monitored by Mission Control in Houston.
This is Capricorn 1. We have landed.
As millions all over the world watched and listened, the President of the United States spoke to the astronauts across the vastness of space.
To the men of Capricorn 1, I bring you greetings from your fellow Americans.
There's only one small catch. It never happened. It's all a lie, a fantastic $30 billion hoax.
Something's wrong, and I don't know what it is.
Dig deep enough, you might uncover the truth.
Those signals couldn't have come from 300 miles.
But the odds are, you'll never live to tell it.
Freeze! I'm not moving an inch.
They're on the plane together! There's a device, it's on the plane. There's some people, if I don't give them the all-clear signal, they'll explode it.
Something's wrong, something big. They know I'm onto it, and they try to kill me. Who's they? I can't tell you.
We are dead.
You tell me you're in trouble, you're out on bail, you just got fired, I tell you I'll be right over.
My head hurts.
You look awful.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
These people are capable of anything.
You sound so close. It's hard to believe you really are that far away in space.
It's hard for me to believe it, too.
You're up to something. You want my help.
It's gotten out of control, it's too big.
Capricorn 1, this is Houston. Capricorn 1, we show red on the heat shield. Capricorn 1, this is Houston. We show red on the heat shield. Do you read?
Pull that lever down by your feet when I tell you, Sonny.
Capricorn 1, the mission that never got off the ground.
No! Don't do it!
Although we weren't able to shatter that highest, hardest glass ceiling this time, thanks to you, it's got about 18 million cracks in it.
What are you gonna do, kill us? The dome will crack.
And it may be hard to see tonight, but we are all standing under a glass ceiling right now. And the light is shining through like never before, filling us all with the hope and the sure knowledge that the path will be a little easier next time.
There we have it, some waves, some thumbs up, and some smiles.
Definitely seems to be a theme among all recovery operations.
Marissa Parra, Sunny
Absolutely.
Williams, first glance, she looks
That
great.
leaves NASA astronaut
She is
Butch
so
Wilmore.
strong, and you know, we've
Inside
been talking about
Dragon
the
in
impact on
seat
your body.
4.
That didn't stop her from waving, from smiling. And you know, you and me, Hallie, have talked about the importance of exercise before. And for people who don't know, I mean, these are not only just brilliant people, and is that Butch Wilmore?
And here, let's
There we
listen
go.
in here. That was quick.
Spacecraft.
You guys have got to try the cold chocolate.
I've had it.
Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities with Senator Warren?
You guys have got to try cold chocolate. Try the cold chocolate.
Well, I think it looks so ridiculous and impossible. And
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
He's still got a firm handshake.
Once again, some elation and cheers there from Butch Wilmore.
More smiles.
As we mentioned before, returning to Earth from
there we have
from
it.
A microgravity environment can
Hallie,
wreak havoc on the body.
We were talking about the importance of exercise. This is why these astronauts exercised for hours. In addition to all the experiments, it is partially for this moment when they return back to Earth.
Astronauts and American technicians have taken mankind a huge step forward in the conquering of the moon and planets. The space trio were back. They had written a brilliant chapter in the Book of Achievement.
I'm Tessa Thompson, and this is Artemis Ascending.
Well, thank you very much. Tomorrow is a very big day because tomorrow will represent 50 years from the time we planted a beautiful American flag on the moon. And that was an achievement, possibly considered one of the great achievements ever. And we're going a lot further now. We're going to the moon, but we're then going to Mars. And I think very importantly, and all of you folks know that from a standpoint of defense, so important. We're going to be doing the Space Force. I assume you guys are all in favor of the Space Force, right? I'd be very surprised if you weren't, but that's where it's at. We're going to be doing the Space Force. We're very close to getting that completed and operating. It's going to be very exciting. So a lot of things are happening.
NASA's Rob Simon made this, and it had wide appeal too. For example, it ended up as the default background on the iPhone.
I didn't even know until I bought an iPhone and turned it on. It is photoshopped.
Werner von Braun, born Silesia 1912, nationality American. Boss of a group of former German rocket scientists, today understandably jubilant.
The greatest day in our life, I think, that a lot of my colleagues are close to retirement or been retired already, will see this as a fulfillment in their life, in their professional life.
Well, a long dream has come true on this day, and I think everybody who has been somehow involved in this project will be extremely happy.
Huntsville, Alabama is the heart of the American rocket industry, and it wears its heart on its sleeve. Of the group of 120 rocket scientists and engineers that von Braun brought with him in 1945, more than half are still here. They've become the folk who live on the hill, in a part of town known sometimes locally as Huntsville.
I think it's probably basically a romantic drive that motivated me. But with romanticism alone, you don't build these things. They're pretty demanding with respect to perfection. They're pretty unforgiving too. There's no such thing as a 99.9% success. That 0.1% can still lead to a complete failure.
Was there ever a moment when you thought that you wouldn't reach the moon?
Well, let's put it this way. When I was 17 and started all this, the moon looked a lot closer to me than it did for a long, long time in between. But today it looks again very close. But in the meantime, of course, we've learned a few things. Among others, I've learned, for example, what $1 billion is, something I had no conception for in the early days. You mean that mankind will survive? Oh no, I think mankind's a pretty sturdy breed. I think I'm very optimistic that man will stay on top of things in spite of the problems that engineers, among other people, create.
You don't think that we're going to have to escape to Mars one day?
No, I'd rather look at it the other way. I think somehow space flight for the first time gives mankind a chance to become immortal. In other words, once this Earth will no longer be able to support life, we can immigrate and go to other places that are better suited for the support of life.
Seriously, even if I disregard the Uncle Carl factor, at best I have 60 years left.
How long, huh?
I need to get to here.
What's there?
The earliest estimate of the singularity, when man will be able to transfer his consciousness into machines and achieve immortality.
So you're upset about missing out on becoming some sort of freakish, self-aware robot?
By this much?
Everywhere we look, this construct stares back at us.
Well, yeah, people come out and they've run out of anecdotes, you know, and they just start making stuff up. Yeah. Like that Neil Armstrong guy. Have you seen him on the talk shows?
Neil Armstrong, you mean the first man to walk on the moon?
Talk about a fish story.
Yeah.
Man, and they're buying it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You will never see it coming.
Fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.